So I figured out and realized something important that could help a lot of you. I met God September 2020 in person, and it terrified me in the best way. And over the years, I've come to see what were the things the enemy was trying to make me think were facts, and what things God taught me that were the truth and still ring true, just like the first day God taught them to me. And this is how I've figured this out. The things that God has taught me, I know are the things that ring true just like the first day He taught me. They are unshakable truths that cannot be messed with by anybody's tinkering. The things that the enemy has tried to teach me, through his lying, they fall out and they fold in on themselves. Things that I thought I figured out and thought were facts of spiritual nature and things of that sort. Things that I thought I figured out were the real facts that man has hidden from us. Things that I thought I figured out, right? Those things that were not from God, over time, the truth has shaken them up, and they have fallen behind me as I have moved forward in my life. And the things that God, for a fact, taught me still ring true, just like the very first day that I was taught them by God, because they are unshakable truths. The things that fall away behind you as the years go by, after you've met God and He teaches you things, and the things that fall apart over the years because you start to realize more and more why, well, that wouldn't make sense. Well, that wouldn't be true because, this unshakable fact automatically makes what you thought you figured out void. Things like that. I don't think I'd be this way if I didn't meet God in person. I'm not going to sit here and lie and play perfect for anyone. This is real life. We don't have time to do that, but you see so many people doing that and even forcing you to do that in order to even get a job. You have to answer questions with lies to, for instance, if you just need a job and you need to pay the bills and you have to get a job at McDonald's, they'll ask you a question like, why do you want to work in the fast food industry? And you have to answer and say, because I would like to learn more about the fast food industry. No, people need to pay their bills. But the people who are good workers will do their job and do it with respect for others and themselves and their manager or their boss. But they make you sit there and act like you're just interested in the fast food industry. Seriously? People are mean. I've worked at McDonald's before. People are assholes. If they don't like your prices, and if they don't like McDonald's prices, then it's your fault. If you don't count their money quick enough, then you didn't go to school. If you don't have their food to them quick enough, then you might as well be treated like you killed a loved one of their own. People are rude, especially when it comes to food. They are brats, like grown-ass children. They're mean. And I have more stories and more things to explain why they're mean, but that's not what this video is about. Meeting God in person changed everything in the best way possible. Yes, I still have troubles in life, and yes, things are still hard. Yes, I still have days where I feel like I can't breathe. But all in all, I can breathe more. And I can breathe better. And every struggle I go through, it is for the better. Meeting God in person, I'm talking physically, far beyond anything your physical eyes could even fathom. Beyond. Far beyond anything that a scientist can molest for his attempts to try to control it. Not all scientists think that way, but 95% of them do. Nothing a mathematician can try to conceptualize in his own mind to try to possess it as his own. No. You'll always be one number off when it comes to God, because you have no right to have a full understanding, because look how evil we are. Do you really think you deserve to have that full understanding? Because I know I don't. You better hope you know that you don't either. But when it comes to the things that God has really taught you, and the enemy has really tried to trick you with, the things the enemy has tried to trick you with since you've met God, they will fall apart and fall away. Because the unshakable truths will show you what is true and what is not. And if you choose to ignore those things that are true, you are asking to be trapped by your own suffering, as if you like it. And I know you don't. But that is how you know what it is that is truth that God has taught you, and what it is that the enemy has tried to trick you with. For instance, I know God is not jealous. If envy is jealousy and envy is a sin, God would not sin. God is not a jealous God. That was a very inappropriate choice of wording. Very inappropriate. That is not how you describe God. He's not jealous. He is his intelligence far it's far beyond ours. So if you think jealousy is something that he ever has been, the creator of all existence, jealous? No. More like pissed, because he wants to protect you. But you don't even want him in the first place. And he loves you so dearly, but you think he hates you and has abandoned you because everything's going wrong, because you blame God for every horrible thing that's going wrong, because you haven't taken the time to go look at the facts and the truth. And when sin began, and how sin brought into existence the ability for disease, illness, and death of the physical flesh to happen. Your physical flesh will now die inevitably, but when Jesus Christ comes, we will have our glorified bodies. Sin and that snake that manipulated Adam and Eve, which are as one Adam, because sin came into the world through one man, as it is written. They were both manipulated. And if you try to put it on one or the other, then you are of a duality that has no understanding. You must seek to understand. We were manipulated by something evil and hateful that wanted us to question and doubt God's word, rather than seek to understand the things that we feel like we can't understand. If you can't understand something, that doesn't mean doubt it and be scared of it and hate it and have a mob mentality like a bunch of cavemen. But unfortunately, people still function in like, they still keep that energy. It's ugly. Even uglier than my face right now. But you'll know what God has taught you and what the enemy has tried to trick you with. The truth will be unshakable, and it'll shake everything. Things that cannot be shaken will not be shaken. But the things that can be shaken, they will be shaken. And what is within them will be shown. Nothing will remain hidden. Maranatha.